Hey everybody, welcome. This is episode, I believe,
8 or 9?
8? I think it's 8.
Yeah.
9's gonna be the ski trip. This is 8. And
ski trip.
Cheers. Josh and I are tailgating right now at
Cheers.
the Ironwood Social.
Socializing. It's actually now the Ironwood Bar and Grill officially.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Ironwood Bar and Grill.
That's right, yeah.
And
A new name change.
It's open mic night.
Open mic.
And with us is Robbie Quintana, also known as, more formally known as, Uncle Bob.
Uncle Bob.
Uncle Bob
stuck.
Uncle Bob is the brains behind the operation musically here, and has a lot of experience in building brands, managing bands, booking venues, social media advertising, building followings, on and on and on the list goes.
You're making me sound way better than I really
other
am.
stuff,
but
I'm sure.
That's
So
our job. That's okay
So-
with me though, because
Uncle Bob, tell us
Yeah.
a little bit about how we got here.
I don't know how you got here, but hopefully it was with an
It's
Uber.
the formal, yeah, right. It's the formal we, as in
That's how we
everybody in this
leave. That's
room.
how we leave.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, here specifically, open mics. You know, like I have a son who's a musician. You guys may know Zach. Zach Quintana is his name. When you got an 8 or 10-year-old kid that is a shredder, you can't go anywhere else but an open mic that's all ages. You know, so that's how we got really involved with the whole thing. And then Zach became a regular at Willie B's here in town when he was like 10. And they asked us to host the thing, so him and I started hosting that, and it just kind of became our thing, you know?
Yeah. Can
So-
we get you to scoot in a little bit closer to the mic?
You
just
can't
in
see
case?
us?
Just, well, microphone-wise.
Oh,
I'm worried-
microphone.
I'm worried if you're
I got a
too
big
far
mouth,
away.
dude.
Speak nice and loud. I don't know how we're gonna need
I'm
to
always loud.
Okay.
So yeah. But that, you know, that's the whole open mic thing. That just one thing led to another, and then my experience with Zach as his manager became noticed because you know he had a pretty good following and he was getting gigs everywhere, and so people started asking, "What are you doing? How are you doing it?" And that. So
Just being a dad.
yeah, I'm like, well, I don't know. To be honest with you, this
You've
just
got-
happened.
You got a 10-year-old who's a prodigy in music. And,
Well, he's
or do you
18
like
now.
that word? I know. That's what
Yeah,
I was going to
yeah.
fast forward
Oh, okay.
today. At the time, you got a 10-year-old who everybody goes to see the really good kid, and then all of a sudden that becomes a really good adult with his own. What was it like trying to separate from the kid gimmick, if you want to maybe say it, with people coming to watch because they're like, oh, it's a cute kid who's really good at guitar, versus now I'm starting to play like I'm playing music. This is a real thing now, and
It's well, the thing about him was at 10, that was part of the draw. Oh, let's go watch this 10-year-old. But once they got there, they realized, well, shit, this 10-year-old's as good as the other guy, you know. So
yeah.
he was an easy sell. He's got a lot of talent. So
Yeah.
so that part of it was now is kind of like a crossroads for him, though. Just having turned 18 this month on January 8th. So it's kind of a whole new ballgame for him. You know, he's not that kid anymore. Now he's
Right.
a legitimate adult guitar player.
gunslinger.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
you know, and I always warned him that this day would come. It's like one of these days you're just going to be another guitar player. You know, I mean, he's not just another guitar player. He's
Yeah.
How
a little bit higher on the scale, but
yeah, how have you kind of worked to differentiate, like how is, so obviously you knew that going in from 10 to now 18, how have you guys developed like and worked together to create something that is different?
Zach and I have a really unique relationship. We have a father-son relationship that's very important, so we still have that at home, but our relationship's mostly business, you know, so it's kind of weird how him and I can differentiate that. We've always been able to, even when he was 12 years old. If we were at work, we were at work, you know. And as far as promotions and stuff, is that what you're asking? Like how
making
to-
something unique. I think
Yeah,
you
yeah,
said.
Making it unique?
Yeah.
Differentiating your product,
not
as
just
it
another
were.
guitar
Yeah, but
player.
the sound. Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah.
And I think him being younger was a lot of it, for the most part, up to this point.
Yeah.
Because that separated him from the other, you know, the other blues bands in town. It was like, oh, it's another blues band. No, it's not. It's the blues band with that 16-year-old kid. You know,
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
that helped a significant amount. But from that though, and from that experience, it's all about networking, and that's why we do this. That's why we do this open mic stuff. It's like we've met everybody. I mean, that's how I met you.
I came here through
Yeah.
open mics. Yeah.
You know, it's like
Got in bands through open mics.
yeah, and the experience. You know, you can't. A kid, especially a 12-year-old kid, can't get experience on a stage unless it's at an all-ages
Yeah.
open mic like this. So I used to tell Zach, you know, and whoever's willing to let you get on stage with them, get up there and play, because that
Yeah.
stage experience is priceless. You can't buy
Absolutely.
that. So, so I think that's exactly what answers that question. Maybe like
Yeah,
the open
yeah.
mic thing kind of gave us more opportunities than we might have had otherwise. A lot of these kids that come out here with their parents or whatever, they that's what they lack. You know, they're some of the kids Zach plays with now. They're incredible musicians in the studio,
Yeah.
but they've never been in front of a crowd. You know,
Translate that, yeah.
So
It
this
is-
gives them that opportunity.
I feel like it is a different style. I'm not
Yeah.
much of a musician myself. I mess around. I dabble. I've jammed with Rich a little bit, but I would say I'm an infant when it comes to that level. But I can imagine being a very technical musician, like you said, in the studio,
Right.
versus being able to play live.
Right.
Is a whole different ballgame.
It's completely different, and a lot of people don't realize that, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
So I think this really gives, especially the younger musicians, an outlet to get that experience they wouldn't get otherwise.
And
You
it's
know.
a friendly environment. Like I know from experience getting on even a small stage in front of 30 people when the light's in your face, and it's
Yeah.
like it feels like it's the biggest
How
deal.
come you didn't tell me how dumb I looked with this orange on my beard? Right? It's just not a good. It's
To
not a
each
good
their
look,
own,
really.
To
You
each
know?
their own. I'm not here
Is it
to
a shock
judge.
top?
It is.
Okay.
Even worse, right? Hey,
had
I'm going to be honest with you.
I had a shock top last night. At the
I'm not a
hockey
big
game.
fan of what's on tap right now here, and it does change. So I'm not saying they got a bad
We'll
beer
leave that
selection, but he's
Yeah,
like, I'm loving what I've got.
We'll blur the orange out. We'll just blur out the whole. Yeah.
Robert says, "Well, let
Just
me tell you
hold my
something.
beer
I'm
like
not happy,"
this.
and then the audio just cuts out.
Is that guy drinking a shock top? Jeez, we're
There's
changing.
nothing
We're
wrong
not
with
going
it.
to watch
There's nothing
this.
wrong
So I work at Boise Brewing as the
Oh.
so I am in very deep into the beer industry,
Right.
and I will admit on camera that I find myself like ripping a PBR from
Yeah.
time to time,
Oh, yeah.
drinking a Coors.
If I just don't see something that looks appetizing, I default to
It's
this.
a time and a place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no harm, no foul.
Yeah, I'm still an infant with beer.
I'm just going to put this down.
Yeah.
I always just ask the bartender, like, do you have? Now I just say, do you have a cider? They'll name something. I have no idea what it means, and I'll say, I'll try
That
that.
sounds perfect. It's exactly what I was hoping
Do
you
you have a
had.
cider? Yeah, we have the old Nantucket pomegranate.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah. Boy, it's been a long
This
time.
is a plug for one of our earlier podcasts.
oh,
where-
gotcha.
Watch our beer episode. It's
The beer.
Yeah,
I did watch a couple of your.
Did you?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're
I was
fun.
thoroughly entertained.
Yeah.
Josh likes them.
What, here, I have some friends that have a blog in Albuquerque, and their blog is called 10 Drink Minimum, and they literally
Oh
just
wow.
yeah.
Well, on
That's-
camera, they drink 10.
Yeah,
That's
it's
impressive.
I don't know if they actually do 10, but that's the
Yeah.
name of the, but they sit there and drink. And
Maybe they
it's,
start recording at 6 and then they do 4
Yeah.
on
it
camera.
makes it so much more fun.
It sure
Well, it
does.
makes the
Josh
editing a lot more
has
of a
been
process.
a solid 10 in before.
It gives
Oh,
you a good. It helps you relax in front of the camera for sure.
I try to pretend the camera is not there for the most part.
What camera?
So we have this budding, blossoming, full of potential vlog out there with all this rich content for everyone ready to sink their teeth into.
Yeah.
You've grown bands, you've grown Facebook pages, you were promoting and getting venues to the extent that you became Uncle Bob's Promotions.
Right.
I have a
By
band-
accident.
I have a band that's booked with you.
Yeah.
How do you grow online? I think that's a broad topic that a ton of people can get knowledge from.
Well, hate to say it, you just got to do it. You got to be on it all day, And when I visit with my parents, for example, I'll be sitting there on the couch doing something, and my dad thinks I'm just wasting time. Because to my dad, a phone's just a waste of time. You know,
Yeah.
all you do is sit on the damn phone all day. And I'm like, I'm working, Dad. I'm working. You know, and that's what it takes is a commitment to your device. You have
the
to
people
just,
that show up. If you just had open mic and throw it up on the billboard, no one's gonna come. People
They come, yeah.
because of your videos, your
Right.
comments, your weekly live videos and posts,
Right.
and then it's coming from your page and Uncle Bob's page and Zach's page,
Right.
and it's like it's a storm.
it is,
And that's what gets people. It's almost like if you're holding an event, I'm a part of a financial management group, and it's like, okay, we can send the email, but then when the admin picks up the phone and calls every member, and is like, are you coming?
Yes.
Or why aren't you coming? Now, that's when attendance goes 100% full.
and to be perfectly honest with you, you mentioned this tonight. If you just put it up there, you may have a few people show up or whatever, but that's what I do. I send text messages. I call people. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Come hang out with us. And another thing that we have constantly, we do everything as a family. Zach's my son, like I said, and I've been managing his career for 8 or 10 years. That's my son doing
Their
sound
problem,
over
not
there.
ours.
It's not, he's a guitar player, not a sound
he's
guy.
a musician, not not a sound tech.
My wife is a math professor. My daughter's 12, and she's been in ballet for 8 years. But the only reason I bring that up is everything we do together. We do as a family. My wife and my daughter were here tonight,
cool.
and we include all of our friends in that family atmosphere, and I think that really helps too.
People come to see each other.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, people come and you see. I don't know. You were here. You saw. People come in. They give us a hug when they see us. Hey, it's the Quintanas. Hey, you know we try to make them feel welcome.
There was a baby here tonight.
There is a baby.
There was
here.
a baby.
Yeah, I wish
Yeah,
you
I
would
saw
come
a
back
baby.
over here.
I
Yeah.
saw a baby.
That's
I saw
my.
a
That's
baby
my.
at a bar.
That's my great nephew.
Oh wow,
My first
that's
great
cool.
nephew. Yeah.
Very cool.
It is cool.
I
I'm
have
not
an
even
okay
an uncle
nephew,
yet.
but this one's the big one.
The other one's so.
alright.
This one's
Very
great.
average. He's an
Yeah.
average, yeah.
That was a good
We'll
one.
have to add that in post
right.
post edit.
Yeah, that was-
I got a quick question for you. How much time do you spend, do you think, on average on your phone per day?
You
Do you have
even
screen
wanna
time,
know.
or do you not have an Apple?
I don't use. I have an Apple. I have both. I have an Android and an Apple, and people always say why. It's because I want to know what's better, and I want some are better. You know, one thing or another. You know. But anyway, so I don't keep track specifically, but hours, 8 probably. It's a full-time job.
Eight's not really even that high per se.
I would. My
Because you're
estimate
awake
would
for
be-
16 hours.
Well, I mean,
sometimes I'm awake a lot more than that.
Eight-
Sometimes I'm on Facebook at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Yes.
8 is
What else are
only
you gonna do
done.
at 4 a.m.?
In
Yeah.
every hour, you're only on there 30 minutes, or in every minute, you're only on there 30 seconds. That's 8 hours a day.
I mean,
So
a lot
maybe-
of people are on there for more than 8 hours a day.
But it
That's
takes
fair.
High school kids are on their phone for 9 and 10 hours.
But
a day.
it
really
takes that though. Like I mean, not for the average person. You know, we were talking about building a business and promoting stuff.
But if somebody
it's a
wants to
full-time
build their
job.
page, I mean, I know people who have, whether it's, we just interviewed somebody who has her own business with skincare. I know people who've done like artwork, paintings, and I know people who've, like myself, we've done our thing. Like, people start with a little baby project and then have no idea how to get off the ground.
Right.
And part of it's like, well, you're just putting stuff out into the echo chamber of the void, and you're not actually
You're not
connecting
forcing
with
it into
people.
somebody's face,
Yeah.
right? I was in sales before. We moved here to Idaho 11 years ago, and before I moved here, I was a car salesman.
Now we're talking.
If you can imagine. Imagine me, Uncle Bob, the car guy.
Well, let me tell you.
did you have the beer? Or was it?
No, well,
Yeah.
you know, I had a smaller beard.
Okay.
This has evolved since I became.
Son, I'm not selling you a Toyota today. I'm selling you your freedom. I'm selling you a coming of age. Do you want to become a man?
Well, let me tell you. I moved here. I like the
Uncle Bob,
the
I'm a little worried.
Pacific Northwest look. You know, the flannels and the beard and all that. And I'm like, I was like, all right, I'm a Pacific Northwest guy now. I got it. But look at me. I'm wearing shorts and a T-shirt.
Yeah.
But I wear the
I don't-
365. This is what I wear.
I don't know the last time I saw you not wearing a black cotton T-shirt.
And it's always
Because
black.
it was 100 degrees. Was it July?
And I was wearing a
Under
black
Oath was out there. And Under Oath was there, and at the other open mic.
And
it
his
was
shorts year round. Then,
Super
too.
bright sun. Everybody who was there to watch them was wearing a black cotton
Yeah.
T-shirt.
I was probably
sweating
wearing the
through their
exact
shirt.
same outfit. I wouldn't doubt it.
I know you guys want to represent your music scene, but you could also be conscious of the idea that you're
Maybe
gonna
Under
die.
Oath should just come out with like a
White
a
tank
tank.
top.
Yeah. And that way you can represent. But
With like
still,
one of those
was-
hats with an umbrella on
to,
it.
to
it
comfort-
wasn't-
comfortably represent.
It was literally like 120 degrees back there.
Yeah.
It was hard than shit. Man.
And every
Jeez.
single one of them, black t-shirt,
Oh, yeah.
the mascara running down
running
their
down
house.
their face.
raccoon eyes. Everything.
Yeah. By the way, this T-shirt is Adam Chavarria. Do you know who Adam Chavarria is? Look him up.
Tell us.
I'm telling you all about it. Yeah, and you guys need to know.
They don't know how to
Look,
spell
I'm looking at the mic.
No,
Hey,
right
you, all you people in there listening to. I mean, you over
We got a
there.
Laura
You're the only one who
situation
gets me microphone. Okay, Adam Chabanero.
Chabanero.
What
That's
was
close. Chavarria.
Habanero.
Chavaria. Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Chavaria.
Or Chavarria. Whatever.
Chavaria.
Adam, this dude, let me tell you, man.
We are
This
music.
shirt says "We Are Music."
Nosotros son música.
This guy speaks better Spanish than me, and I grew up in New Mexico. Adam's just a killer guitar player, vocalist, somebody that I am a huge fan of. And it's funny, I'm not involved with him as a in any way. I don't like book him or
Don't get any money.
I don't know, never. But I promote him a lot because I believe in him. He's an incredible talent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's about to change though.
yeah.
He's about to blow up.
Wait, my phone's ringing. Hold on.
Royalties, baby.
No, I mean this guy like. You have to watch a video. When you get home, watch it. Look him up. It's Chavarilla, if you don't know how to spell it.
Okay.
Chavaria.
Or
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna
Yeah.
picture the double L in there. I was gonna picture just IA.
For all you ignoramuses out there, Chavarilla.
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 You're a bunch of Garden City ignoramuses. And the Sears guy we've been calling out for
Ignoramus.
several
Yeah,
episodes.
Sears guy. Chavarilla.
Derek over here.
Derek Chavarilla. What's next for Uncle Bob? What do you see on the horizon?
Well, I'm excited about this summer because I have. Last year I did some work with the Terrace Lakes Music Festival, and they've asked me to come back and be the host of that show again.
Okay.
And,
Like kind of booking all the bands and stuff?
well, no, it's funny. I have a different involvement with them because of my Facebook videos and all the silly imagery that I put out there.
They need a mascot.
They said, "Hey, Robbie, we want you on stage for this thing. It'll be great." And so I do like all the interviews with the bands and stuff. I have no say in the booking or anything,
Okay.
which is unusual because usually what I do is the booking.
Yeah.
you know.
You're
So,
like the guy who knows all the bands. Who
Yeah.
should be in charge
Yeah.
of picking the bands.
so I have nothing to do with the band, but the bands are incredible. And last year we had so much fun that they're making it a 2-day festival this year, and it was great. I go by Uncle Bob, like you said. By the end of that day, I was Drunkle Bob.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've heard of Drunkle Bob. I haven't seen
Yeah,
him.
if you haven't seen him, go to this year's festival. You'll see
Oh, okay. So we've talked a lot about music and everything, and a lot about other people's music and other people's stories. But you have even alluded that Drunkle Bob has some stories. So what I would love is if you can think of, I'm putting you on the spot. Is there one
This is a
story
tough one.
that you're like, everybody needs to hear this story? One time, me and my buddies.
Oh, dude, we could go all night here.
Let's just-
I'm going to tell you the
let's-
best story
let's get
ever.
One good
Pick one.
juicy one. Here we
Here's
go.
the best story ever, and this includes Uncle Bob, but it's mostly about my best friend.
Here we go.
Okay, so yeah,
Those are the best.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this guy.
it's great, and I can't wait. OJ, I'm going to make sure you watch this, buddy. It's a great story. So I was one of those guys. Okay, I'm 6 years older than OJ. His cousin and his brother are more my age, but he was the little kid that kind of followed us around.
Yeah.
And they grew up and I never did. So instead of growing up with them, I just moved on to their little siblings and hung out with them better.
Yeah.
You know, so he's like 18 at 20 maybe at the time. I shouldn't even say this. He was 21.
There we go.
21 at the
He was,
time.
he was 21.
He was at least 21.
Definitely.
So I
He
had
was
to
a
be
young adult.
He was a
at
young
the
adult.
time.
I was-
Age,
yeah.
unclear.
I was 27. I had just moved back to Albuquerque from Las Vegas, Nevada, where I went. And I was a mess. That was a mess. But I'm back in Albuquerque. I'm living with my parents. I'm 27 years old.
Living it up.
Yeah. And me and my 21-year-old buddy had gone out and partied one night. I'm like,
I'm
dude.
not gonna say we've all been there, but
Let him go here.
we've all been.
And
there.
I'm like, dude, just crash at my house, man. Of course, my parents know him and love him. We're all good friends. Okay. He's asleep, completely sound asleep on the couch. No, actually, wait, no, I put him together in the room. I'm on the couch because I had made him go to the room because I figured my parents are going to wake up and be like, Robbie, but it's not Robbie, you know. So it's like, you stay in my room, I'll stay on the couch. So I'm on the couch, tuckered up. Next thing I know, it's like 8 in the morning, and my mom's like, Robbie. I'm like, what? She's like, OJ's in bed with your dad. And I'm like, what? She goes, I guess he got up to go to the bathroom and couldn't find the room he was in, so he just walked into our room and laid down right between us. Yeah, so he's totally like sprawled next to my mom and dad. Yeah. So it gets even better. My mom realizes that he's there, but my dad doesn't. My dad's sound asleep. So my mom gets up to tell me. Now OJ and my dad are both in bed together.
So OJ's actual age is probably like 6 or 7. If you were to not give him an age,
That's what you would think.
yeah.
It happens to be Easter morning.
All right. Beautiful.
OJ's mom calls me and says, "Where's OJ at?" I said, "Oh, he's here. He stayed here." She goes, "He's supposed to meet the family. We got things to do today." And I said, "Oh, well, let me go give him the phone." So I walk into my mom and dad's room while he's still in bed, asleep next to my dad.
Yeah.
And I go, "Hey, the phone's for you." And he wakes up and he's like, you know, like,
Where am I?
but he can't react because he's got to talk to his mom, right? And the look on his face, oh yeah, mom, yeah, I'll be right there.
I was
Best
just on my
story.
way out.
Yeah,
Car started.
best story ever. So my buddy OJ slept with my parents.
Nice for a solid 5-6 hours or whatever it was.
Oh yeah,
I feel like you could take that out of context easily. We're gonna edit out most of that
And just say my buddy OJ
Tell us your
slept
best
with my
story.
parents.
My buddy OJ slept with my parents, and then
I
just,
do like to do a 1-minute teaser that just takes the best kind of
Yeah,
You gotta-
context thing,
that's gotta
and that's
make
going to
it
be in there.
That's gotta make it.
Because that gets put on Instagram and everything.
Honestly-
But and OJ's a really handsome model-looking guy.
Yeah.
So my
Oh,
mom,
wow.
my mom
I'm
brags
excited.
about that all the time.
Oh, so
Yeah.
So she always tells people,
Mom wakes up and she's like, I
OJ,
went to
tell him
bed
about
with
the
your
time you
father."
slept with me, you know, and everybody's like,
Wow.
yeah.
That's a win. That's what we call a win-win. Except
It's
one
his mom
story.
lost because she's waiting on her son
yeah,
on Easter.
morning,
Yeah.
which is not good.
Gets a little spanking.
I think the part of the story for me that was most impressive was just the fact that
This
you
is a
were.
book review.
I know, yeah. Just in summary,
The fact that I'm a
fact that-
27-year-old man.
no, it has nothing to do with that. That you guys went out for a night of like revelry.
Oh yeah,
Debauchery.
debauchery
And then-
for sure.
yeah, debaucherous
Yeah.
even. So and then you came back and had the know-how or the foresight to be like, "Nah, you should probably sleep in my bed."
Yes.
Also, because and like
Because you don't.
'Cause in my mind, I'm just
you're
like-
liable to wake up and go sleep with my parents if you sit
Yeah,
on the
exactly,
couch.
yeah.
Someone put you in the bed when you're safe.
To
when
make
you're
sure
safe,
you don't.
piled up stuff in front of the door so you can't get out.
That was funny, man. That was fun. If he was here, man, we could go all night. Him and I had the funniest stories. Man, jeez.
that could be another
I get the
whole other
idea.
episode. Yeah.
I get the idea.
It really could be.
I mean, everybody's got good stories, but not everyone's a good storyteller.
Yeah.
And
True that.
somehow the best storytellers also seem to have the best stories.
Well,
I don't know if
But
that's,
do
I don't know if
they?
that's just hindsight.
But do
no, I
they?
think stories evolve. I've been telling one story, and I like all of my stories. Not even just one, but all of them just keep getting.
They get better and better.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, I was
Mine
like,
hasn't changed though. It's legitimate. That is the story. Sticking
when I-
to it, man.
When I was doing some overseas travel, we were in a van getting to know each other, and there was like 20 people in this like big old freaking van, and so we all started telling our poop story, and everybody has some story that involves you or someone really close to you.
I've got a
But
really
hopefully
funny
you
story.
accidentally pooping yourself as an adult, not like as a little kid.
Well,
or some
fortunately,
some
I don't
disgusting-
have a poop story.
Oh, everybody does.
No,
You
I,
just have to think
actually
about
I
it.
do,
See,
but it
yeah,
concerns an
yeah.
old girlfriend.
If
I
you
don't
ju-
want to go there.
There you go.
Yeah,
so if you
so-
just think about it long enough, you've got one. And
I've got multiple now.
I heard
that
some
I think.
amazing stories. Mine
If
involves
we're including them, yeah, there's
mine involves Walmart, in fact, and
Wow.
and the Walmart floor they're in. So
Oh, yikes.
it gets real interesting. But we don't need to get into those details. But the
That is a
Let's
whole-
move. We need to move
best
on
story I
from
had
the, from the
heard
poop.
was
Yeah, so
this
back
guy-
to music.
this guy who visits. He's like staying with this really well-to-do family, and he ends up peeing all over. He ends up wetting the bed.
Oh, I
He's
got a
like-
good peace story.
He's like 21, and he had just like, I don't know, for whatever reason ends up wetting the bed. He wasn't like a bed wetter. He just wets the bed,
We've all
and
been
then
there.
he gets
Ain't gonna lie.
nervous. So the person who was on the trip, he goes and wakes his sister up, and this is the one telling the story. And he's like, what do I do? I'm in this nice home. They put me in this bed, and I'm an adult, and I just pee all over their bed. And so he tries to go clean it up, and he gets chemicals out from underneath, from underneath the sink, and they end up being like damaging, like bleach chemicals. And so he's
You've got,
pouring
like,
it
some,
all
like-
over the
like
mattress.
2,000
and
thread
and he's-
count, like-
and he's trying to clean the mattress, and he just destroys this mattress with all these harmful chemicals,
Zach
and
had-
then has to like explain what's going on in the morning. So he just doesn't, and he just like
Pieces out.
See ya.
just leaves.
Zach was like 8 and he had this little kid neighbor sleep over one night. I woke up at like 3 in the well, my wife woke up at like 3 in the morning. She's like, "What's that noise?" I said, "I don't know." So I went downstairs where the kid's room was, and the light was on in the bathroom, and there was all this like fuss going on in the bathroom, and I could hear this little kid like, and I was like, "He's 8 years old. What the hell is he doing in there?" You know? And so I was like, "Cody, are you okay, dude?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine. And I'm like, "Are you?" Yeah. And I'm like,
This doesn't get serious.
"Yeah, for real." I'm like, "He's 8 years old. Like,
Leave me alone.
should I just leave him alone?" You know? But then I realized that he was crying kind of. So I was like, "Dude, are you okay? Like, do you want me to call your mom?" And he's, "Oh, I'm fine. I'll be okay." And I was like, "Do you need help or something? Like, what's going on?" And he goes, "Well, yeah." And I was like, "Okay, well, you got to open the door so I could help you." Well, he had waken up to take a dump, and he had flooded the toilet, and there was water all over.
This is classic Dumb and Dumber. This is the Dumb and Dumber scenario.
But he's an 8-year-old kid.
Oh,
but he's so
it's
scared to
traumatizing.
tell me.
Yeah.
And he's on his hands and he's trying to soak up all the water
And
on
it's
the.
still going.
Oh
like,
yeah,
he didn't know to turn the water off.
Yeah,
or
you're right.
anything,
So
and
the water's.
I
It's,
respect that though. I admire that.
he would try.
I
He
got
tried.
it. Let me just.
Yeah, he's like,
He was
got
yeah.
this.
He had sweat coming out his face. He was so bothered. Poor little guy. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, dude, shit happens for real, literally.
You had vinyl floors or tile or something.
Oh,
You're
I gotta
okay.
tell you the peace story though.
Okay.
Because
Okay, we're going.
well, because this is well, I mean, it's not great.
Yeah, here we go.
You know,
Here we go.
see
I
now I
just wanna
can't.
make
You know, now it's gonna suck.
Okay. No. Hit it.
You know,
gonna be
like
perfect.
You killed the vibe.
I didn't kill the vibe.
now it's gonna suck.
Get on board. We're telling the tea story.
We kind of have some great stories. This is the 1P one though.
Here we go.
Just your typical peace story, I think. You know, my wife.
There I was.
There I was, sound asleep in my bed, and I wake up and I walk over to the toilet, and I start to pee.
Yeah.
Well, at that moment, my wife slaps me in the back and says, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I wake up and I'm peeing on the
You
wall.
wake up again.
Yeah.
You wake up
I'm
again.
still in bed. I'm just turned over sideways.
Nailed it.
Yeah, peeing on the wall, all over the alarm clock. Yeah, she's.
It's not like you can stop. It's not like you're gonna be like.
Well, she heard it hitting the wall. You know, and she's like, "What the hell's going on?" She smacked me.
And then you're like, well, I can't.
Yeah.
Now I gotta finish.
And what do? You're kind of embarrassed. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
like
Man, she
that.
smacked me a good one.
That is
Well
called
deserved.
marriage, our friends. out
Yeah,
there.
it happens.
So I
Yeah.
think that's a good note to end on. Really.
Yeah?
If we can wrap it up with
I'll
that
throw out a
story.
quick peace story.
Here we go.
I don't have my peace
Yeah,
story
a
yet.
couple
so
minutes on the old.
It'll be quick
sleep
because I
timer.
killed the vibe earlier, so I'm gonna try and bring
Yeah.
that vibe back. This is actually college, so I'm not gonna say it was recent because I've been out of college for a minute, but freshman year of college, I'm sitting in math class, and I got lucky in this scenario, but we've got. It's the oldest building on campus, basically. So it's got like nice plastic seating. It's math, so obviously it's a snoozer. It's my afternoon class. It's the end of the day. I'm exhausted, and I really have to pee, but I don't want to get up. I'm too tired to do anything. I'm not paying attention, so I just fall asleep
math class.
in math class. That was a pretty regular occurrence, though. Just
Yeah,
the having
I
to
slept
pee
in
thing
most of my high
was
school
not.
classes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
My wife's
I-
a math teacher, so I have to deny any of that.
Okay, yeah, no.
Go ahead.
Nobody
Math is
falls
great.
asleep. Yeah, nobody falls asleep. Math is amazing. I actually really enjoyed the class. I did well in the class, but I did fall asleep in it pretty often.
We resume the story. You're a total loser in high school. You're asleep and you have to pee.
This
This
is college.
Oh,
you missed
This
the whole
is
freaking-
college.
Total
I'm
loser
hey,
in college.
Just look over here. I got you. I was paying attention.
All right, here we
Uncle
go.
Bob's paying attention. Rich is over it. I fell asleep. I'm dreaming, and it's like in my dream, it's like finally, it's like I feel that sweet relief, and I'm like, oh, thank God. So I like wake up. And here I
Here we
am,
are.
In math
sitting
class.
in math class. That is ending because I woke up because everyone was getting up and shuffling around. My
Yeah.
two friends were sitting on either side of me, and I had just opened the floodgates. And I'm sitting
can't
here.
stop.
What's the worst that can happen? You're in college, right? You just walk out like no big deal. What kind
Oh,
of
it
pants
was
are you wearing?
full.
What kind of
Oh,
pants are you
oh,
wearing?
it was very
Were you
noticeable.
wearing gray sweatpants?
Probably jeans or something that
Are
was.
gray sweatpants not the worst? Like you
Oh,
can't.
yeah.
Even a little dribble, everybody knows.
exactly, yeah.
You wash your hands in the bathroom, a little splashes on you.
Yeah.
And it's
you
like,
look
oh,
like you peed your
look at
pants.
himself. I got really lucky. I had to cover it up. I was just quick, like, hey, we're heading up, and I was like,
Hey, I'll meet you there, man.
I'll meet you guys up there. I gotta finish writing the notes because I fell asleep.
You got 15 seconds before that goes off. You want me
Finished writing because I fell asleep. Blah blah blah. And then I walked back up to the dorms with just a huge pee stain, and that was it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was gross.
Uncle Bob, thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Rich. This is fun stuff. I didn't
Were
even
we
finish
ending
my
on the
beer,
pee
though.
story?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's perfect.
No.
What's happening next?
For the record, I have no problem with ending on a story of Josh peeing his pants. But
I'm the one with the problem.